Hello everyone, Martin Ingram here, and welcome to the wonderful world of whitetails. I goofed up my normal intro. I chopped my head right off again, and you couldn't hear me this time. The intro was about finding a buck bed, which I will show you shortly. But as you can see, Blacktip is back at Food Plot 1, Cloverfield. It's interesting. Antlers are all there. No more velvet. He looks to be about a 2.5-year-old. You can see the lines of his shoulder really going up to his neck still. Once that starts blending together, it gets older. Not very wide, thin tips. 2.5-year-old, I believe. Hopefully we can let him go, but if the boys see him or somebody else shoots him, I can't guarantee it, but I'll let him go if I can. See the white lines in my hand? They're buck hairs, I believe they're buck hairs. There's a buck bed down below that tree. I gotta get used to these cameras. Now, on the 14th, the Narrow 6 is feeding in the food plot. You can tell the difference. He's a much smaller animal. He's a 1.5 years old. He might develop some antlers one of these days, if we can let him live long enough. But I'll show you why bucks like this do not live long. To everyone who wonders how close they get to anything. 9:09 a.m., 9/11. Last week, I came there and switched out the camera first thing in the morning. Sort of semi-bear hunting. That's me, leaving. 9:09. 9/11/2016. The very next video. And notice, it's either the Narrow 4 or the Narrow 6. I'm pretty sure it's the Narrow 6. He still has some velvet left. This is an 1.5 hours after I came down and picked up that camera. I think that's the, not sure. I think it's the Narrow 6. It's a Narrow 6 and a Narrow 4, and he hasn't cleaned his entire rack off yet. We'll wait to a reloop where he comes into the green again and try to stop it in time. But you can see that velvet tips are off. It's off the tips, but still on the antler. The other side might be totally clean. It's like he doesn't know how to finish the job. But anyway, that was an 1.5 hours after I picked up the video out of the camera. That's how close things can get. They're simply too curious. Here he is on the 13th, night before. He left for a couple days. He didn't come on the 12th. But he's just too curious. He heard something going on up there, and he wanted to know what it was. And by the way, looks like his velvet's all off. So, he must have talked to Pop on how to shave. Maybe, maybe not. But then again, that other one could be the Narrow 4. I'm not positive. But to show how really close you can get, watch this. Now, this is me leaving that food plot. I came back down at the end of the day because I looked at the cameras, what I had for videos, and I readjusted my cameras. I put the audio camera here. You can see across the way my other camera is pointing that way, and the other camera's on the other side of the food plot. And you take note of this tree back here. I'll talk about it in a minute. But there it is, 9/11/2016. It's 4:53 in the afternoon. I'm going home. I just filmed the closing. Now this is the very next video on that camera. 5:42, 9/11/2016. An hour after I left, not even an hour. And in comes this bear. This bear is telling me a lot. First thing he's telling me, he's got his eye on me. Well, buddy, I got my eye on you too. You see that tree up there? That is 69 yards from killing that bear. 69 yards. Now that, I'm not sure if it's mama and the babies or just one of the cubs. It's too small to be the other bear. But it likes this camera so much that he or she brought his sister or brother over 15 minutes later. Watch very closely. You'll see a bear walk away, and the other one's face is right up in there, keeping an eye on me. And he's saying he's got his eye on me too. But he ain't any bigger than that other bear, because they got to stretch a long way to get their nose up there. Mama, her back would be at that. She would be right there. But they're still 69 yards away. And if mother's anywhere in the area, we sort of got her patterned. I'll explain. 3 nights last week, we have video of bears in the food plot. Now this is the same time, 5:35, that other bear went over and he played with that camera for a little while. 6 o'clock he goes back, but mommy's with the babies. Okay? So they're patterned. They're in there about every other day. So I'm devising a plan to hopefully take mother bear out. But that's not the only bear in the area. Now this is not a baby bear. Quite a bit bigger. I believe he's the boar in the area. I found out something interesting too. That other bear that had his butt wore out. I explained it earlier that I thought maybe the mother kicked last year's cub out. But actually it might be the boar. I guess what they do is they rub their back against trees during mating season. Rub the hair right off sometimes. And that's maybe what happened to this guy. But he's also been visiting that food plot. Never there seems to be on the same day as the mother and the cubs. But he might be hunting cubs. Although even if he killed one, the mother wouldn't come into heat this time of year anyway. I don't know what his problem is. But anyway, that's another option, to shoot him. Because this isn't the only place he's seen. The same day, earlier in the day, up by the apple tree, where he saw my other stand, this guy shows up. He comes from here, he gets an apple, and he goes down to the lower food plot. I think he's coming from across the road to do this. Now my plan is to put another tree stand in that tree I pointed out earlier, so that I can watch the upper food plot. So if he walks down there to get to this lower food plot, he'll come right underneath me. And the wind will be in my advantage if he does that, most of the time. Also, I'll probably have some bear scent sticks hanging around. I won't put them near me. I ain't that stupid. But some bear scent sticks along the trail, you know? Draw them up maybe earlier. Now let's talk about what we're doing for our deer hunting. But first, meet my oldest MC. You met Marcus last week. This is MC. You notice I'm not carrying a rifle. Not really worried too much about it. Military police officer is my son, and he's got his Glock. Okay, we're at food plot 2. Behind me you see the aluminum ladder. That's where a 2-man stand's going to be set up. And 75 yards to the corner down here. 54 along the edge of that side. 52 where the truck comes in. Be an easy poke with a rifle. I'm going to bow hunt it. It's also along the border of my neighbor's property, which I have permission to hunt. Plus there's a trail down there that other hunters use. They'll see me and turn off the other way. I'll show you how to get there in a second. Meet Mountain FB. Okay? That's Mountain FB lawnmower. Let But this is the trail. I'll explain that in a little while. Actually, that lawnmower just came down through here and mowed this. I mean, yeah, sure, it came through with a chainsaw and it came through with a hedge trimmer. But it came through with a mower. Got me down to this. That's a good mower. I'll tell you, that mower is something else. I bought that mower in 1994. When I bought my house, I finally had a lawn and bought a lawnmower for it. Now, I don't know how much of this stuff you're going to hear. It's hard to judge a minute. But this trail goes on through here, through here. You can't be seen by the field. Can't be seen by anything in the field, so a morning hunt is not out of the question. I come down through the trail. Now it opens up here. You see the blue tag is where my line is. My land markers. It comes along the edge of our property line. The neighbor's got a trail over there that the other hunters use. There's the other blue line, right on the edge of the line. I almost went over that way and I realized I was at blue line's status. I didn't want to care if it's his, but he's got a trail right over there. His trail is right there. He doesn't hunt, but he doesn't disallow hunting. Except for a couple of people he's thrown off. But, oh, dang, I almost dropped you. Anyway, our trail comes along here. And into the back, downwind of it. Preferably in the fall. Mostly in the fall, it's going to be downwind of it. Now, right here, our head is at 14 feet. Our head is at 14 feet. Our head is at 14 feet. And that's the view you see down there. Now I'm going to wait up here for a minute just to make sure I get a picture down here. Oh, one of those got a good fan. I think it's going to be a good dynamite spot. Late season muzzleloader on the brassicas that are growing in there. Late season archery. No, I'm not going to shoot a bow that far. I'll edit that. Edit that! On hunt day. Tree stands up. Outfit camera's been changed. I'm not staring at the camera so you're not hearing me. We did a lot of work. We checked out for another spot for a trail. At least we got one stand location up. We need one more. But for today, Martin Ingram, Wonderful World of Whitetails, we're out of here. Let me throw this on to the end. This is a picture of the sundown one of my cameras took. I like it. But I gotta take some bears out of here. I can only shoot one. My son's gonna shoot one. They eat deer. They're like coyotes. I think they're the reasons I don't have any fawns on the property. But with at least 4 bears that I'm aware of, I'm sure of, something's got to go. I mean, they're down in the clover plot, and that's probably why the deer ain't down there as much. They're up in the food plot too. Now, I don't think that's why the deer ain't there much. And we still get videos. I got other cameras that got videos. I've been going through 100 videos a weekend just to make a show. But another thing I want to throw out there and get your advice on here. I've been doing this with trail cameras. Should I buy a real camera? I'm getting better with them, but stop cutting my goddamn head off. Leave a comment what you think. Should I buy a GoPro or a camcorder or something else? I'll leave it up to you. There's not many of you, but you are you.